patient neglect at the hospital. According to first-hand accounts, Afghans stole fuel needed to run generators and sold pharmaceuticals on the black market. Afghan doctors and nurses would rarely show up for work, having been trained by at U.S. taxpayer expense. According to documentation, the misappropriation of resources was staggering, yet the United States government continued to ship supplies without the proper controls in place. In one 18-month period, the United States provided over $150 million in pharmaceuticals and medical consumables to the Afghan National Army, which is equivalent to 3-year supplies at a similarly 3-year supply in a similarly sized U.S. naval facility. Medical supplies and equipment were hoarded, stored improperly, and misused. It is also reported that supplies were shipped to Pakistan while legitimate pharmaceuticals were replaced with counterfeits. The combination of these factors resulted in an extreme lack of care at the hospital. Photographic evidence and first-hand accounts indicated that wounded Afghan soldiers endured starvation, bed sores, and botched operations. Wounds were left undressed, and Afghan doctors conducted procedures without anesthesia or painkillers. In his written testimony, Colonel Karoza described the conditions as, quote, Auschwitz-like, end quote. Oftentimes, Afghan doctors and nurses would demand bribes in exchange for care. Those who could not afford to do so died in their hospital beds. The medical care in Afghanistan was so substandard that it was ranked in the lowest 1% by the World Health Organization. The extent of human suffering that took place. What I'm about to show you is exceptionally graphic. If there are children watching, please have them turn away or ask to leave the room. If you're squeamish, please consider not looking at these pictures. They are exceptionally graphic. With that, I'll just simply show 4 of the photos. If you can cue the photos, we'll just spend a few seconds looking at these to give you a sense of the situation there at the hospital. Now, most of you are seeing these photos for the first time, yet our men and women in uniform, including the witnesses' choice. Should they disobey orders and provide care, or should they violate the Hippocratic Oath and allow for the suffering to continue? From July to November of 2010, senior U.S. military officers reported these issues up their chain of command. Documents indicate that the International Security Assistance Force Commander General David Petraeus, NATO Training Mission Afghanistan Command, Lieutenant General William Caldwell, and his Deputy Brigadier General Gary Patton were briefed about the need for an investigation. Evidence indicates there may have been a deliberate effort to delay an investigation for political reasons. It is also evident that commanders were under enormous pressure to portray a positive image of the war effort at all times, even if this meant conducting an aggressive public relations campaign so the media would report only good news.